have a few books that I wanted to share with you all. So I ended up finishing 2 of these pumpkin granny squares, and I think they came out great. It was a bit of a learning curve for me, but that's okay. I really like them a lot. I'm going to make a pot holder, and my plan is to make like 2 more squares. I'm like working on this one so it would be like right next to each other. I also made this one. I'm not sure which one I like more yet, so I'm just gonna keep crocheting. I'm gonna make some different variations and see what I like more before I stitch everything together. I have a few books that I wanted to share with you all on my fall reading list this year, and this is something new. I've never done this before. I've never had like a seasonal reading list, and I didn't purchase these books with the intention of having one. I just kind of like the idea of having a seasonal reading list because it's a way to keep me accountable. So do what works for you. But I wanted to share what I'll be reading because some of these are just books that make you think, and some of them are like thrillers, and some of them are just like silly for fun. Like they're kind of all over the place. I also wanted to talk about this idea of having a personal curriculum, which is a trend that I've been seeing pop up on YouTube more, but I've heard that it originated on TikTok. But let's start with talking about these books. The first book I have on my fall reading list is called Dopamine Nation. And I picked up this book, one, because I heard about it on the Huberman Lab podcast, where he actually interviews the author. I believe she's like a therapist or psychologist and scientist, and she has so much insight into dopamine and pain levels and how they really affect each other. And I found myself reaching towards this book at a time where I was feeling very, very depressed and was constantly seeking forms of cheap dopamine in order to dissociate and to get like a need met, but ultimately my needs weren't getting met because I would either eat chocolate or sweet treats just to feel some kind of excitement and quickly realize that I wasn't even hungry, or that what I really wanted was connection with others, and that's what I needed. This book has a lot of good insight. It will educate you. It might give you some more motivation, or at least a sense of purpose about why it's better to seek other things that aren't forms of cheap dopamine, because ultimately the things that would make us feel better, that we resist, are the things we need to do to take care of ourselves. I highly recommend this book if you just feel like your dopamine levels are just kind of like through the roof, if you're constantly feeling like a lot of pain and you find yourself on your phone a lot, or things that just aren't so healthy. This could be a good read. But with that one out of the way, I have some other fiction books that I'm reading. So I will start with the most obvious. I picked up this one, and I feel like everybody's saying it is so overhyped. And I will say, like, yeah, maybe, but I kind of went into this book with no expectations. And honestly, this is like a brain off book. Like, if you just want to read and quiet your mind and just like have this silly story, I want to read, but I don't want to work really hard reading, and I want something lighthearted, this is how that book feels to me, and I actually like it because of that. Is this a literary masterpiece? No, but does it do what I want it to do for me? Yes. I'm gonna finish this book. So I have this one, and then I also picked up this one, which is called Dear Future Me, which I think is a thriller. Usually what I end up doing is I'll do a whole bunch of research before I'll buy a book, but I'm learning to just kind of leaning into getting books that I find interesting before I turn to the internet to see if they're worth reading. So I guess I'll just read the plot for you in case you want to pick up this book, or I'll just try to summarize it. Basically, it's about this class who has an assignment to write letters to their future selves, and 20 years later they receive them in the mail along with other letters saying that they're like threatening them to expose the truth about a decade-old tragedy. I haven't started this one, but I'm excited to. And the last book I'm reading is A Court of Mist and Fury. I know that I am so late to the Avatar series. Honestly, I don't love the series and I don't hate the series. It's just kind of like when I'm in the mood to read this, I'll read this when I just kind of want to be more enveloped in a story, which is different from something like this. This is like brain off. This is a little bit more brain on, kind of, but it's still just like entertainment. I've been enjoying it so far. I feel like everybody says that this is the best book in the series, which thank God, because that first book was so hard to get through and I almost didn't read the second one because of it. Those are all the books on my fall reading list right now. I might be adding in some more, but I'm gonna go through these ones first. The next thing I wanted to talk about was developing a personal curriculum. I've been seeing this trend go around and I kind of like it. I think it's interesting how we're taking elements from school and calling different things we're interested in core units and subjects that we're now studying. What I do really like about this trend is that instead of focusing so much on a goal, it's more focused on developing skills. So the difference to me when it comes to setting goals and having a personal curriculum is kind of like the outcome. A goal for graphic design, somebody would said, is I'm going to become a graphic design freelancer. I feel like there's a lot of pressure in that goal, like it feels bigger. When it comes to a personal curriculum, the goal would be to create projects as a graphic designer and just improve your skills in them. And that I really, really, really like. I've decided that I wanted to create a personal curriculum for myself. I'm still working on it, and I kind of do want to share a template with you all in case you're also interested in creating your own, because I feel like it's very, very simple and just an easy tool to help you structure it a little bit so that you can get started. Let me know if you're interested in that, and I can definitely share it. So as far as my crochet project, I've now created 4 of these pumpkin granny squares, and I love them, but I am so ready to move on from this project. I don't know if I will make it anymore because I feel like this is actually a very brain-on hobby for me. Every single time I've made a pumpkin granny square now, I have made a mistake somewhere and I've had to like go back, and it is just a very frustrating experience. Eventually I'll make that pot holder, but I think I have to take a break from these. This project might be done in another month, or it could be done next fall. And also that it's okay to move on from projects that just aren't sparking joy anymore. It really, really is, because that's what hobbies and projects are. It's really not that deep. Sometimes I feel like when I film these vlogs, I have to have like a finished product, and then I ask myself, like, am I enjoying this? Am I having fun? And the truth is that I'm no longer having fun trying to make this pot holder, because I've tried to do it so many times and I just can't right now. So I'm going to be moving on, and if projects are feeling the same way for you, take a break, make something new, come back to it. I've actually been moving on to another project, which is going to be a granny pumpkin. So this will eventually be an actual pumpkin. So that is it for this vlog. I know that it was a little different and we got chatty and we talked about a few things, but I hope that you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you have a cozy fall, and I'll see you in the next video.